Hey man, I got some news for y'all today, man. Hey man, I got a few stories I want to update y'all on, man. But before we get started, man, if you want to donate to the channel, man, I got my Cash App link pinned in my bio. So if you rock with the channel, you rock with the content, you know what I'm saying, show support, donate to the channel, cause YouTube haven't monetized me yet. So, all these videos I've been doing for free. So if you rock with the channel, man, show your support, man, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I want to speak on doctor that was unalived in Memphis, sad situation. It was a college party or like a going away to college party or something like that. And she was unalived in a mass shooting. So check this out, 2 men arrested and charged in a mass shooting during the college send-off party on Saturday night faced the judge on Tuesday morning. Damian Thomas, 25, and Ezekiel Wilson, I'm thinking 25, are both charged with first-degree murder. 6 counts of attempted first-degree murder, reckless endangerment with a deadly weapon, and employment of a firearm during the commission of a dangerous felony. While in court, the judge called out their charges and stated they would not be given bond in their cases. Attorney Michael Schroe told WREG that his client is Damian Thomas and that he has entered a not guilty plea. The challenge in this case is we've got a lot of witnesses in the case. The potential that our client isn't a shooter in this case. So we're trying to get that information, get those statements so we can get those over to the DA's office, Schroe said. It didn't appear to be a concise set out party like it was previously described to me. It pretty much ended up being a melee of a lot of ladies fighting in the middle of the street, and shots were fired from somebody, and people were gathering who actually fired shots. On August 8, around 11:16 p.m., Memphis police say they were called to a shooting in the 1700 block of Brookings Street. They said they found 3 people suffering from gunshot wounds on the scene. The victims were all taken to the hospital, where one of them was pronounced dead. Police, family, and friends have identified the deceased as Dr. Shanderica Hazlitt. If I mispronounce her name, you know what I'm saying, forgive me for that. But, RIP to the doctor, sad situation. Police say they were approached by another woman on the scene who had also been shot and taken to the hospital. While their regional one, an additional victim, arrived and told police that he was also shot at the same scene on Brookings Street. During the investigation, witnesses told police it all started when 2 females got into a fight at the party. One of the females in the fight is accused of leaving and then returning 10 minutes later with a man named Damian Walk-Eye and an unidentified man who were all armed with firearms. The witnesses say all 3 of the men pointed their guns at the crowd of people. That is when Damian is accused of firing shots in the air, followed by Walk-Eye and the unidentified man firing shots, police say. Law enforcement says they were able to identify Walk-Eye as Ezekiel Wilson and Damian as Damian Thompson. Wilson and Thompson were both positively identified in a photographic lineup as 2 of the 3 people who fired shots into the crowd that killed a woman and injured 4 other people. On August 10th, police said Damian Thomas and Ezekiel Wilson were both found in Arlington, where they were taken into custody. Man, first of all, let me say this, man. Y'all ain't gonna act like I ain't cold with this reading shit. I'm really cold with this reading shit. Like, reading and language arts is what got me out of school. So, yeah, man, I might misspell a little word or name here and there, but I'm cold with the reading shit now. But anyway, rest in peace to the doctor, man. Rest in peace to the doctor. Like, Memphis, crazy. Y'all killing doctors now. It's crazy, especially her just being out there at a college party or send-off party. It's sad, man. Rest in peace to the doctor. I don't know if they were shooting in the crowd trying to hit something. I'm sure she wasn't the target. But, that's what happened. I'm sure they probably had switches on the gun. These young niggas can't control them switches. They shooting, and the bullets ain't got no name on it. It's just a sad situation. But, rest in peace to the doctor, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about her situation in the comments. The next topic I wanted to speak on is about that boy Pooh Shiesty, man. Pooh Shiesty been dominating. His album he just dropped, been dominated. He got like the top 15 songs on YouTube. He got the YouTube top 20 looking like his own playlist. Like 10 of the songs in the top 15 belong to Shiesty. That's like down his whole album. Like, I think his album was 16 songs. So that's crazy, you know, to be doing numbers like that. But it's almost like, man, what he did them numbers if he would have been free, you know what I'm saying? I believe so, because the FDO went crazy and he was free. You know what I'm saying? So people ask that question. Him being locked up just boost him up more, because people like, dang, if you notice, you read the comments, people say, man, dang, you know what I'm saying? His music hit different when you really know he about what he living. You know what I'm saying? My question is, you know, will Gucci not take the stand in his case? You know what I'm saying? Will Gucci recant his statement if he can? Will he be forced to take the stand? Will Gucci look and be like, damn, man, Shiesty really pulling in views and I can really make money off dude? You know what I'm saying? I think it'll be better and benefit Gucci more if Shiesty free. You know what I'm saying? So I wonder if Gucci will just, you know, recant his statement if he can, or maybe he'll be forced to get on the stand because of his statement. Who knows? But, you know, I feel like it'll benefit Gucci more with Shiesty being free. You know what I'm saying? Like, Shiesty going crazy. You know, but I also think it's sad that you got to crash out for the fans to really want to bump your music. It's like you either got to get smoked, you know what I'm saying, unalived, or you got to crash out for people to really start taking you serious, which is crazy. But, you know, it's also been reported that Pooh Shiesty attorney, you know what I'm saying, has been taking vacations in Italy and London recently. You know, he hasn't filed any motions or statements since the feds dropped the video footage evidence on Shiesty, which is, you know, it look crazy for Shiesty. You know what I'm saying? The lawyer out vacation. A lot of people, you know what I'm saying, man, he might have well, because he gonna have to sit down and work, you know, when this case gets started. You know, maybe he feel like it ain't nothing else for him to do. You know what I'm saying? The evidence dropped, the video footage dropped, and man, you know, he probably honestly feel like Shiesty cooked. You know what I'm saying? Like, or he probably been trying to convince Shiesty to take a plea deal, and Shiesty don't want to do it. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But hey, the lawyer can only do so much. You know what I'm saying? When you got that type of evidence against you, like I said, he can only do so much. You know, but free Shiesty. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that situation in the comments. But the next story I want to speak on is about that boy NBA YoungBoy. You know, NBA YoungBoy been going viral. You know, he usually go off, you know, going viral, going off on people on the internet. But this time it's his mama. You know what I'm saying? Which really threw people by surprise. You know what I'm saying? Because YoungBoy been known to defend his mama, or if somebody do something, say something to his mama, at least in his city, Baton Rouge, you know, somebody come up unalived for speaking on bro mama. So people, you know, was shocked to hear him, you know, going back and forth with his mama. So it started out with his interview with Funny Marco. If y'all haven't seen it, YoungBoy basically spoke on his relationship with his mama, said, you know, he loved her from a distance and he'll never talk to her again. You know, his mama responded going off. You know, basically saying, man, I don't care about, man, quit lying on me. You know, I don't care about you not ever talking to me again, woo woo woo. And YoungBoy came back and responded, calling his mama out her name and all that, basically saying, you know, his mama done spit in his face before. His mama done spit in his grandma's face before. Now, I done heard him mention that before, that his mama spit in his face before, which was crazy. I'm like, man, like, you know, that's crazy. That's super disrespectful. And honestly, I don't think YB lying, you know, on his mama. He said his anger come from his mama. I don't believe he's lying. And the way his mama responded was very telling that he ain't lying on her. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, hopefully they'll mend their relationship. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of parents don't want to admit when they did wrong. You know what I'm saying? Start with her admitting what she did wrong, and he'll be able to forgive her, hopefully then. But as long as she keep trying to pretend like she ain't never did nothing wrong, you know, bro ain't gonna never forgive her. He gonna always be mad at her. But, you know, y'all let me know what y'all think about their situation in the comments, man. All these topics I spoke on. And like I said at the beginning of the video, man, if you want to donate to the channel, you know what I'm saying, I got the link to my Cash App pinned in my bio, because I ain't getting paid for none of these videos. YouTube is not monetizing me right now. You know, I had to delete a lot of old videos because they said I had a lot of reused content on my channel. So I had to delete them junks. And, you know, most of them videos was some of my most viewed videos, you know. And, you know, it had a lot of copyright claims. You know, I think it's because of a lot of old videos I used to do that had a lot of music from a different Memphis artists, you know what I'm saying? So I had to delete all that. And, you know, hopefully, you know, in November when I reapply, they monetize me. But for right now, you know, all these videos I've been doing is for free. You know, so, you know, if you want me to keep doing these videos, you really rock with the channel, like you said, you know what I'm saying, donate. I don't care if it's $1, you know what I'm saying, I appreciate it. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'm gone.